Welcome beautiful, I'm Leticia and welcome to your holistic and cyclical approach to life and business. So today we're diving into a super important topic, and that is what on earth is cyclical living. Let me introduce you to this beautiful system that has completely changed my life. So just to give you a bit of background on how my life has changed, cyclical living has helped me to find my purpose, to feel more confident in my own skin, to create a business that allows me to make my difference and thrive. It's helped me to find an exercise regime and food to eat that supports my body in feeling great and nourished and energetic every day throughout my cycle. And it's allowed me to feel more empowered as a woman because I am creating a life and business that supports me in my full creative power and potential, and to work with my natural flow of energy. Now, this video is for you, whether you are a woman or not, and whether you are experiencing a menstrual cycle or not. When I talk about cyclical living, all I'm talking about is working with the rhythms of your own hormonal cycle, or working with a system such as the moon cycle. So the two main systems that I work with when I talk about cyclical living are the menstrual cycle and the moon cycle. Now, I believe that we can draw from the menstrual cycle regardless of whether we're experiencing a menstrual cycle or not, because this cycle, what it does is shifts us through different phases of creativity that we can all use and work with regardless of whether we're actually experiencing a cycle. And this is because we use this framework to help us create in a sustainable way. And this is the amazing thing about both the menstrual cycle and the moon cycle. They both operate on a roughly month basis. It's different for everyone. Depending on the woman, the length of their hormonal cycle will be different. Each cycle may even be different for a woman. And as a woman grows older, and as a woman has a baby, and due to other hormonal factors, our hormones are always fluctuating. They're always transient. In fact, that is the only thing you have guaranteed as a woman, and I think as an individual, that we're always changing. So we operate as women on a much longer hormonal cycle, and this is different to our male counterparts who operate on a 24-hour hormonal cycle. So the way that our businesses and the working world and our lives in general have been set up is to support this 24-hour hormonal cycle. But we as women operate on a longer hormonal cycle, which means that we actually shift through our masculine and feminine over longer periods of time and through different expressions than what our male counterparts are doing naturally. So we as women have to learn to understand our bodies and understand how they operate so that we can start creating businesses and lives that support our energy. Now, what's fascinating is that the moon cycle also mirrors the menstrual cycle, and the moon is often considered feminine, whereas the sun is considered masculine, and it's because of this beautiful longer cyclical energy. The moon itself is shifting through periods of yin and yang throughout one moon cycle, just like the menstrual cycle is doing. So whether we're experiencing a menstrual cycle or not, we can work with the menstrual cycle, which is built to help a woman, to support a woman create something really huge like a baby. We can use that that sustainable approach to creativity and that creative potential to create a whole host of other things in our life. So not just a baby. And this is amazing when it comes to a business. When we work with this approach, this sustainable creativity, and we use the menstrual cycle as our guide to shift through the different phases of creativity, we allow ourselves to tap into to all the different phases of creativity as a whole, and to show up in our full creative power and potential, which is super cool, but while doing it in a way that doesn't deplete our energy. So what tends to happen at the moment is that because we're operating on the male hormonal cycle, what we do is each day we expect ourselves to operate in the same way. So we might wake up and feel like we have our highest energy of the day, our peak energy. And so this is when a man, their testosterone is at its highest. So they have this surge of testosterone and hormones every day when they wake up. So they get to work, they get focused, they're using their masculine, they're very focused, they're getting things done, they might exercise, and then as they go through the day, the testosterone starts to deplete, and so they start to tap into their feminine energy more. And so this is why at the end of the day, things like meetings are usually arranged, and then as they go into the evening, they're winding down for work for the day, and they're getting ready for bed, preparing to do it all over again. And that's the beautiful arc of the male hormonal cycle. But the female hormonal cycle is going like this throughout the course of one cycle, which is roughly 28 days. So this means that there are different phases throughout the cycle where our energy is at different points, and we're able to do different things. We have different creative superpowers, which is so incredible. It also means that what we require for fuel in terms of our body is different, and what we require, what's going to actually be the best form of exercise and movement for us, is also going to be different depending on where we are in our cycle. So I use the menstrual cycle and these different phases to support what I eat, how I exercise, how I run my business, how I schedule my travel and social commitments. I use it for absolutely everything. And most of all, I use it as a self-discovery tool to understand more about myself. And this is why I'm so passionate about cyclical living. So if you're not experiencing a menstrual cycle, you can use the moon cycle to help you know when a new cycle or season starts for yourself. Now this is great because we often as women feel a real connection to the moon cycle, and it's beautiful to be working with something that's bigger than us and to feel like we're in the swing of this beautiful energy outside of ourselves, so that we can feel like we're working with something. And as women, we're often affected by the moon phases anyway. You might find at the full moon it affects you in a particular way versus the new moon or even the dark moon. So we already feel this connection. So I encourage you, if you aren't yet working with the moon cycle, to start taking notice of the different moon phases and go out and just look at the moon and start to notice how you feel on a day-to-day basis and how your energy is shifting and changing for yourself. So cyclical living underpins everything that I do. It underpins all of the work that I do with my clients. I teach my clients how to work with the menstrual cycle or the moon cycle so that they can tap into all of these different phases of creativity and to their full creative power and potential, and to create a business that allows them to work with their energy. So just quickly on this, and I'll have another video at some other point talking about these different seasons. There are 4 different seasons that make up the menstrual cycle and that we can also use with the moon cycle. And so these are our inner winter, which is when a woman typically menstruates, our inner spring, which is also known as our follicular phase, and then we have our inner summer, which is when we ovulate. It's the peak energy of the cycle. And then we have our inner autumn, which is the luteal phase of the cycle. This is when our energy is starting to wind down, preparing for the close and the beginning of our cycle. And this is typically when a woman experiences PMS. So this beautiful cyclical energy allows us to have periods of rest and periods where we are more active. So it allows us to create in a more sustainable way. And because this system has been designed by nature in order to support a woman be able to carry a huge project such as a baby at some point in their life, if that is on your life path, we can use this system to create anything in our life, and it is the perfect system to create a business. All right, my friends, if you want to know more about working with your cycle, I invite you to go and check out my Menstrual Magic Journal. It is a free download. It's a short ebook that takes you through how to work with your cycle, whether you're menstruating or not. So I also take you through how to work with the moon cycle using this beautiful cyclical energy. And you can download that at leticiaringe.com/menstrual magic journal, and I'll make sure that I pop a link below. All right, my friends, leave me a comment. Let me know how you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you soon. Mwah. Bye.